Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author, Matt Adams.
That Jess you were talking to when you
It was Jess. Yeah.
What did she have to say about being on the edge of her seat?
She was like, I thought you were going to send me into labor. But thankfully, baby is still in belly, so we're good. Yeah.
Welcome into the Fairways of Life show, folks. Pleasure to have your company from wherever you are joining us around the world today. In particular, we welcome those joining us on Golf Channel. What a finish we had at the Drive-On Championship on the LPGA. You just saw Nelly there in a piece of her press conference after victory. We'll have more coming up from Nelly in just a moment. But it was the way that that event finished that was so exciting. Consider the fact that Lydia Ko hit this shot into 17. Watch how this finishes, wrought with all the danger along the way. She thought it was going to go in the water, yet no. It finishes only a tap in away, eagle at 17. So by the time that Nelly Korda came to this same hole, she was trailing by 3, and it looked very much like the race might be already run. She had to make eagle birdie finish to catch Ko, and she did that. Eagle at 17. And then at 18, it was a difficult pin. It was over a ridge. It was down grain, and she hit an absolutely beautiful shot, stunned it into the ridge, took most of the momentum off it, and that just allowed the ball to release down to the hole. She said it was a gift of the golf gods. However you judge it, it was an absolutely gorgeous shot. Into a playoff they would go. 2 playoff holes. Yeah, it looked like it did go in. 2 playoff holes, and it would be Nelly Korda with the victory. And what a great victory it was for Nelly Korda over Lydia Ko. You remember what Lydia Ko was playing for. With the victory, she would have enough points. This is the winning putt right here. She would have enough points to gain entry into the LPGA Hall of Fame. But she was denied the same by Nelly Korda, and what a great finish by 2 of the LPGA's largest stars. Neither one of them won in 2023. Nelly last won at the 22 Pelican Women's Championship. This was her, believe it or not, her first wire-to-wire win on the LPGA Tour. Nelly now moves to 3-2 in playoffs. Ko won, of course, last week in Lake Nona, where she lives. Korda wins this week in Bradenton, where she was born and raised. Nelly has now surpassed $9 million in career earnings. She's the 9th American all-time to reach or surpass that figure. As I mentioned, she didn't win in 2023, but she did have 9 top 10s, 3 of which were top 5s. She was on the Solheim Cup team for 2023. She went 2-2. Her overall record at the Solheim Cup now 7-4-1. And, of course, later on this year, she will be the defending gold medalist at the Summer Olympics. When she finished up, Nelly Korda addressed the media about how she's feeling.
Yeah, it was definitely not a boring day. The amount of support that I've received this week was unbelievable. I'm so grateful for it, and honestly so surprised with how many people came out and watched. And they kept me in it, honestly. I didn't think I even had a chance, and then obviously making the eagle on 17, I knew that I needed a birdie on 18 to even have a chance to get into a playoff. And just, wow, like good old Nelly fashion, making it dramatic. I'm not going to lie and say that, there weren't doubts and negative thoughts creep into my head. And fortunately, I have an amazing teammate, Caddy, right next to me that I get to share this journey with and the gray hairs with. And he kept me in it a good bit, as well as the crowd. When I made that double on hole 15, he just told me, "Hey, listen, you're still tied for the lead. Let's go. Like, come on." He was pretty much told me to get my head out of my so but I like that. I like when he tells me that, I need to get my head out of my ass. Yeah, I mean, every win has a story. This one was definitely just with the struggles of last year, and just with today as well. I thought I completely lost it, and being in my hometown and having the hometown support was incredible. Like, I honestly didn't think this many people would show up, and even on just the first day on Thursday, the amount of people that were out here supporting was incredible, and I couldn't have done it without all their positive energy. Yeah, so the eagle, I didn't necessarily hit my first shot great off the tee. I hit a 3-wood, and then, which I've hit a different club there every single day. Yesterday I hit a 7-wood off the tee. So today I hit a 3-wood, and then I had a perfect 3-wood in. And Jay told me that, he even said, he was like, that bunker's been good to us, so just aim at the bunker. And I knew that the wind was off the left, and I knew that I had to make an eagle. I knew that I had to just pretty much have an unbelievable finish to catch Lydia. And I hit this amazing high 3-wood, landed perfectly, and I probably had just over 20 feet and rolled it dead center. And then on the last hole, I kind of floated I actually wanted to hit more of a penetrating 7-iron, and I floated it a tiny bit, and that's why it came up a little short. But sometimes you just need to get lucky, and I think that's just the golf gods gave me a little present there.
Was there something specific that Jamie said to you early this week, a swing thought that really propelled you?
Gosh, I was hitting it even so good last week. I was giving myself so many opportunities, but he just told me to groove, just to relax and to groove. He loves that word, and that's what I tried to do this week.
And are you going to tell the commissioner that this event needs to come back next year?
I mean, look at the crowds we had. I mean, it was amazing. I can't be the only one to say that I feel like the support that we all received this week was amazing. So it's always nice to come to a town like this that the entire town gets behind the event. It makes it way more, it makes it really fun playing in front of them, but there's just a different energy that you get.
I thought it was awesome. I thought the energy of the event was awesome. Yes, I realized it was right up against the NFL and the playoffs. Now Chiefs and 49ers going on to the Super Bowl. I don't know what happened to Dom's Lions, but it was just fun watching that LPGA event and to see the way it came together. I think it probably would have been smart going to a Wednesday, Saturday like the PGA Tour did to kind of get out of the way of the NFL playoffs, but it was a nice diversion nonetheless. And the timing was pretty good. Right about halftime of the first game was when it was wrapping up on the LPGA. Our producer is Dominic Scarano behind the glass. So, Dom, you were, I'm sure you were working on the question of the day today. What have you crafted with all the headlines that are going on? We've got Liv's first event is this week. We've got a signature event in the PGA Tour this week. We've got the rumors of Anthony Kim swirling around the game. Is he getting ready to make a comeback? You had two superstars on the LPGA going head-to-head. You had a first-time winner on the PGA Tour and Matthew Pavone, which we're going to talk about at the Farmers in just a moment. Of all those things and more, what have you decided to send us in the direction of?
So, first of all, today is supposed to be an exciting day for me. Bitterly disappointed with the Lions' performance. I have to say,
You're
it's like they were walking
Detroit
through a field.
fan.
They were walking through a field just trying to find ways to lose the football game. It was brutal. Matt went to bed and he was like, "Hey, what? The Lions won. I saw they were winning by 1 million. They won."
They were
I was
killing
like,
them when I went to bed.
No, they didn't win. Also, it's a big day when Dominic shaves. Don't get used to that, by the way. But that's what I did. So the story that I wanted to focus on today, because it's been percolating through social media quite a bit, in the golf circles is Anthony Kim. And we'll talk a little bit about this later on in the program, but that's what I wanted to focus my question of the day on. And the question is quite simple. Should Anthony Kim return to golf? Should he return? I only gave you 3 options. Yes, no, and the third option is I don't care. It just doesn't matter. Now, we're early in the running, right? This just started, but right now we're at 65% yes, 25% don't care. That's a surprising number to me, Matt. I expected that number to be 0. I feel like people should care, yes or no, right? It feels like a black and white question to me, but I guess it's not.
If you want to weigh in on that question whenever Dom asks it or anything else, we have an open and live discussion board as well as, like I said, the question of the day that you can tell us what you think about that. You just need to log on to the Fairways of Life YouTube channel, the Fairways of Life YouTube channel, and you'll see the discussion board there. If we have time today, I will have Dom jump into that and let us know what you guys are thinking about anything swirling around the game of golf, and we will continue to update you on what you guys think about the question of the day. How are you voting? Give me the exact terminology again of how you phrase it about Anthony Kim possibly coming back.
Should Anthony Kim return to golf? Because I realize that there have been discussions about where he should return and in what capacity. So I'm not focused on where. I'm just saying, should he? Not do you want. Should he return to golf? Because remember, he hasn't played in 2012, I think, at the Wells Fargo.
May
was his
2012 was the last time.
I mean, that's a long time ago. I think he's 38 now.
Yeah.
So that's a big gap. That's a little bit more than rust there, Matt.
Well, I mean, there's still a lot of excitement. He still has a lot of fans, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the program. As the Fairways of Life show continues, it is presented by the PGA Tour Superstore. They are the #1 golf retailer in the land. Find your happy place at the PGA Tour Superstore.
Relax. Easy now. Find your happy place. The PGA Tour Superstore. It's all in the hips, where every swing is possible. Just tap it in. Yes!
Find all the latest gear, apparel, and personalized club fittings.
Is this goodbye?
We've only just begun.
Shop with the pros at golf's happy place, the PGA Tour Superstore.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous Parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
It screams. It tracks. It's soft. It reacts. It is the Bridgestone Tour B with a game-changing reactive cover designed to spring faster off your driver and stick longer to your wedges. Try Bridgestone's Tour Bs, the Tour Ball reinvented.
The Gen 6 iron is a culmination of everything that we have learned as a team, the absolute best golf club I've ever hit. It's something special. Say hello to the new PXG Gen 6 iron. The longest, most accurate irons we've ever made. They go higher and farther than any iron that I have hit to date, and they're so easy to hit. Super excited for the consumer to try this. They're gonna love them.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm gonna go after the PGA Tour.
Bo, you're gonna need the right equipment company.
I think I got that.
You know Tour Edge backs all their clubs with a lifetime warranty.
I know.
They ship all their premium custom clubs in 48 hours.
I know.
All their premium clubs are hand-built in the USA.
I know.
You know Tour Edge has won 35 times out here.
Guys, I know.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Boyne Golf provides the ultimate world-class golf destination with 10 championship-caliber courses spanning 3 resorts. Centered in Michigan's northern Lower Peninsula, the courses are the products of some of the game's masters, including Robert Trent Jones Sr., Arthur Hills, and Donald Ross. From the all-inclusive vacation packages, elite instruction with the Boyne Golf Academy, tournaments, and so much more, Boyne Golf truly offers an unrivaled Michigan golf vacation experience. Just log on to BoyneGolf.com. As we welcome you back to the Fairways of Life show on this Monday, hope you guys are doing well. Remember, you can be a part of the program. Let us know what you're thinking. Just log on to the Fairways of Life YouTube channel, and there is an interactive and live discussion board going on right now. You can weigh in on Dom's question of the day about Anthony Kim. We'll talk about Anthony Kim a little bit more in just a little while. The Farmers Insurance Open saw a first-time winner on the PGA Tour. PGA Tour Radio's Earl Forsey and Dennis Paulson, week in and week out. PGA Tour Radio brings us the sounds of everything going on the PGA Tour. And, gents, this one storied event, I think storied finish. What were your thoughts?
Well, Matt, thanks. First month of the new season 2024 season on the PGA Tour wraps up with another first-time winner. Dennis Paulson was alongside for this weekend's coverage from Torrey Pines and the Farmers Insurance Open. Dennis, a 31-year-old rookie this time from France, Matthew Pavone, one of these players who made their way onto the PGA Tour through the DP World Tour late last year. Very early in his rookie season, he's a winner now on the PGA Tour.
It's amazing. I don't want to take anything away from him, but all the stories so far this year on the PGA Tour have been pretty special. But the shot that he hit, what he took on the 18th hole, he hit a poor drive off the 18th after playing rock solid. He kind of floated that shot out to the right at 16, didn't hit a great bunker shot and makes that putt. 17, his body stops and he yanks an iron shot on the left-hand side of the green. Hits a pretty good putt up there, but from just about 3 feet, he missed the putt. I think he misread it a little bit, might have bobbled a little bit, but then 18, pulled that shot into the bunker up against the lip and then did the worst thing you could possibly do, pulling that iron shot into the rough. And to take that shot on, it was the hardest swing that he made out of that rough. That was a hope right there, and it paid off.
Yeah, he needed to pull off a shot, ended up needing to make birdie to win the tournament, and did at 18. The other thing he did so well, even though he did bogey 17 and it opened the door going to 18, he avoided bogeys 2 tough days on the back nine at Torrey Pines South. Dennis, he only made 1 in round 3, just that late one on Saturday in the final round, and really a bunch of pars kept him in front comfortably the entire way. Avoiding bogeys on the back nine, also a key part of why he won.
I think that's really the key, that he won. Every single player that was chasing him today and made runs just stubbed their toes. Every single one of them, Earl. Anybody that got close made mistakes, and he didn't really do it. I mean, I know he made the mistake there at 17, but it was a short putt. It wasn't that big of a deal. Went to the 18th, and then he clutched it. I mean, I can't say enough about how gutty that shot was. He swung so hard at that shot out of the rough. It was amazing.
And the guy who couldn't avoid bogey, Steven Yeager, was the guy who had his 3-shot lead early in the day and just too many bogeys down the stretch, really both days, to close things out, and he comes up short. Just couldn't avoid trouble after having a big lead early in the final round.
Yeah, Steven, I know he was a little disappointed, but he sure didn't look like it. Saw an interview with him after the round with Amanda, and he had his child on his arms, and he looked pretty upbeat. But I know that when he gets home tonight, he's going to think about it. And if there's anybody that really felt like they let one get away, it's got to be him. He hit the shots early in the day to give himself that lead. And if he just could have stayed there, Earl, didn't need to make any more after that early good quick start, but he just couldn't do it. It's a hard golf course.
Well, and Matt, you couldn't ask for much more as far as great places to be back-to-back weeks in the PGA Tour, from gorgeous Torrey Pines up the coast to the Monterey Peninsula this week for the second signature event of the season this week, the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Gents, we are very much looking forward to that. PGA Tour Radio can be heard on the Tour's app and website, or if you subscribe to the national satellite service, Sirius XM. For Pavone, rounds of 69, 65, 72, and 69. He's 31 years old. 2 months and 25 days. He earns 500 FedEx Cup points. That moves him to number 2 in the standings. He's the first player representing France to win on tour since the Second World War. Martin Trainer, you might be thinking, oh, wait a minute, he won the 2019 Puerto Rico Open. He was then representing the United States, and then he changed his nationality to France. What was Massey, Arnaud Massey, Dom? Was that 1907 that he won?
1907. You want to know when the last time someone won from France? Look at that photograph. You got a different time indeed. Look at that thing.
Matthew Pavone joins.
There. He doesn't have a pipe in his mouth. I would have expected that.
Probably. Matthew Pavone joins Nick Dunlap from the American Express as the second first-time winner this season. He earned his card for the 2024 season via the inaugural DP World Tour Top 10 that Earl was talking about. It awarded tour cards to the top 10 players on the final 2023 Race to Dubai points list, which he finished 8th on. He joined the DP World Tour in 2017, and it took him 185 starts in the DP World Tour to earn his first title at the Open de España. He finished tied for 7th at his season debut. That was the Sony Open in Hawaii, and he entered the week as the highest-ranked player from France in the official World Golf Rankings, and when the field for the Olympic Golf men's competition is finalized following the U.S. Open, the highest-ranked French player in the OWGR will earn a spot in the Paris 2024 field per the Olympic Golf Rankings. Now, did you guys get a chance to see or hear about the quote on his right hand? That quote on his right hand says, "The saliva that flows now will become the tears of joy tomorrow." So he was asked about it in his press conference, and he credited it to Harvard. And doing some research earlier today, as best I could find, is that this quote is credited to students from Harvard. And when I first saw it, I have to tell you, what I thought maybe it was a French quote, and when it was translated, sometimes you've got the beautiful French language, and sometimes you translate it into another language, and it's kind of like, oh, it doesn't sound quite as profound. But in this case, it's in English on the back of his fist. It's right there on the back of his fist. The saliva that flows now will become the tears of joy tomorrow. I'm not 100% certain what all that means, but as to those tears of joy, Pavone addressed the media following, and he told them exactly how he was feeling.
Yeah, I still can't believe it. As I said, it feels like there is another round to play tomorrow because we're only Saturday. That is special. I can't thank the PGA Tour enough. Give us the opportunity to come from Europe and compete here in America against the best player of the world has always been a dream for me, and I got finally a shot, and I took it. I mean, it's a dream come true, and it's a little bit hard to believe for now. It's all about motivations. For me, it's really important to have everything clear in my mind. I always wrote down, to be fair, since I went in Spain last year, I write down some notes in my book, which bring me back to the present moment. You know how it is on the golf course. Sometimes your head flies away a little bit, and you have to get back to the present moment to refocus yourself. And those sentences are like, they are telling me why I play golf, why I'm here. They show me, they give me a little extra confidence. I think it's really key in our sport. The more confidence you get, the easiest it could be. And those sentences are there for. People won't realize, but those sentences, I read them like 100 times on only like 6 holes. And I'm like, just focus on this, and then I raise up my head, and it's me to play. And okay, now it's time to... It's just showtime, you know, and you try to commit to the shot, very focused, and a good brief, and just trying to do your best. That's all you can do, really. The thing is, to be fair, that wasn't my goal in 2023. I had no win since there. I spent 7 years battling on the DP World Tour to trying to get my first win, and I achieved that so far. And then all of the sudden, on the perfect timing, I have to say, it comes in Spain, wire to wire. It proved me that I'm capable to do great things. My confidence level went up. Really shown also that with my staff we were doing the right things to be competitive on a high level of sport. And then birdie the last 4 in Dubai to get myself into the PGA Tour, and since then I'm like on a cloud. I'm flying, you know. It's incredible. After I just came here in America, just trying to enjoy every moment. It's a dream since I am 16, since I came to America for the first time to practice in West Palm. I loved everything about America, the mentality, the sport, everything you guys do. It feels like I'm half American somehow, but yeah, I mean, to be fair, I had almost no pressure playing in America. I was like, it's just an opportunity. If I fail, I just go back in Europe and I start again. So it was just like trying to do your best every day, enjoy every moment, because they are special ones, I can tell you. They are very special ones, and it looked like it worked. Yeah, that's big. Olympic is huge. Since I'm kids, I'm watching it. We got lucky that when he came back golf came back into Olympics in, what was that, 16 in Rio or something like this. I have a good friend of mine, Julian Ken. He was my mentor, and he's still my mentor, to be fair. He did that Olympics in Rio and told me how cool was it. And yeah, it's definitely it was one of my goals this year, to qualify and represent my country in Paris. And looks like I'm on a pretty good shape right now.
On the DP World Tour, Thorbjorn Olesen won for the 8th time for the 34-year-old. He opened with a 69. Then he shot a 10 under 62, a 9 under 63, a 5 under 67 to end up winning by 6 shots clear on the rest of the field. That's the largest margin of victory this season. His 54-hole lead or co-lead record is now 7-1. We start with finding out how he feels about his most recent victory.
No, it feels great, obviously. It got a bit tricky out there. I didn't get off to the best of starts, and Rasmus got out of the blocks really quickly, so it was tight early on, and but I managed to hit some good shots and obviously hold the right putts at the right time. So yeah, it was great, and especially with my family here, makes it that much more special. Yeah, well, I knew it. You know, I played a lot with Rasmus, and he's probably one of the most talented players that's out here. So, you know, he can shoot so low on any course, and I knew there was going to be a lot of pressure on me. So I felt like I was pretty calm, even though he got off to a good start, and I was struggling a little bit. I've tried it a few times before in my career, losing a lead and come back. So I guess I have that experience that helped me a little bit. Yeah, it has. You know, it's been a good start to the season with the putt, I would say. The first couple of weeks has been good, and then took it to another level this week, and yeah, managed to just a couple of days where I hold almost everything, you know. So yeah, it makes it a bit more comfortable out there when you know you have a good putter in the back. Yeah, exactly. You know, we moved here just over a year ago, and I've always loved coming here on holidays and for golf. It's always been a special place to me, so being able to win here means a lot for me, and it's something that's going to be with me forever, and also, of course, my family here. So those two things makes it a really, really special victory, this one.
All right, still coming up on the Fairways of Life show, there is a new pack on the PGA Tour. There's a couple names on there that may surprise you. Live will be getting underway this week. It is a signature event on the PGA Tour this week. And what of the prospect of Anthony Kim coming back to the PGA Tour? Is it something that you would be excited about? Does it matter? More of the Fairways of Life show right after this.
I guess hello world, huh?
And with one subtle hello, Tiger began an amazing and unthinkable career.
I've done it for 20 years now with Bridgestone. It allows me to play an aggressive style around the greens, and it's allowed me to win a lot of tournaments.
Bridgestone Golf, proud to be part of your journey.
Boyne Golf provides the ultimate world-class golf destination with 10 championship-caliber courses spanning 3 resorts. Centered in Michigan's northern Lower Peninsula, the courses are the products of some of the game's masters, including Robert Trent Jones Sr., Arthur Hills, and Donald Ross. From the all-inclusive vacation packages, elite instruction with the Boyne Golf Academy, tournaments, and so much more, Boyne Golf truly offers an unrivaled Michigan golf vacation experience. Just log on to BoyneGolf.com.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can have muscles and be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
Relax. Easy now. Find your happy place. The PGA Tour Superstore. It's all in the hips, where every swing is possible. Just tap it in. Yes!
Find all the latest gear, apparel, and personalized club fittings.
Is this goodbye?
We've only just begun.
Shop with the pros at Golf's Happy Place, the PGA Tour Superstore.
What if we started a company and the company was under no time constraints, no financial constraints? The one constraint is their clubs had to be exceptional performers and much better than any other alternative. I was told time and again it'll never work. It worked like a house of fire. And I'll tell you what, I think our customers love it. BXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Zero Friction introduces the Wheel Pro Pushcart Golf Bag with its revolutionary 3-in-1 design, supportive legs that spring into action, a comfort grip handle with 3 locking positions, accessories for the modern golfer enhanced by 7 pockets for more storage, and removable all-terrain wheels which slide right into place. The new Zero Friction Wheel Pro Golf Bag checks every box for every golfer. Push, carry, or cart, the decision is yours thanks to Zero Friction. Head to zerofriction.com today.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Press the green button and start your journey at ireland.com/golf.
Welcome back to the Fairways Live Show. Pleasure to have your company, folks. Hope you guys are doing well. So there is a new pack on the PGA Tour. This article from Brentley Romine, you can find it on NBCSports.com. Lanto Griffin, Grayson Murray among the 2024 selections of PGA Tour's Player Advisory Council. He writes, Lanto Griffin and Grayson Murray were among a group of 21 PGA Tour players who co-signed a letter to the PGA Tour's policy board last month demanding transparency and a meeting with the board's independent directors regarding the Tour's ongoing restructuring and business negotiations. Now, both players are being named to the Player Advisory Council, which advises and consults with the board and Commissioner Jay Monahan on tour issues. The tour announced Sunday the 16 PAC members for 2024, Griffin, Murray, Sam Burns, Nick Hardy, Brian Harmon, Max Homa, Mac Hughes, Keith Mitchell, Seamus Power, Scotty Scheffler, Adam Schenk, Kevin Streelman, Nick Taylor, Josh Teeter, Justin Thomas, and Camilo Villegas. 6 of those 16, Griffin, Murray, Streelman, Teeter, Thomas, and Villegas, finished last season ranked outside of the top 50 in FedEx Cup points. 9 players who were on the 23 pack, Ryan Armour, Corey Connors, Ricky Fowler, Bryce Garnett, Shane Lowry, Maverick McNeely, Henrik Norlander, Adam Scott, and Will Zalatoris did not return this year, though Scott became a player director. McNeely and Zalatoris had been on the pack for 2 straight years. So Lanto Griffin, he has been very vocal about his feelings, the PGA Tour, relative to transparency, relative to benefiting all players across the board. We had a chance to catch up with Lanto at the 2023 Travelers Championship, and he was pretty stark in his assessment. Here's that.
Later on today, are you going to a players meeting?
You know what? I don't think I'm going to go to this one. I've been to every other one, and I get worked up. And I've noticed a trend where when I go to the player meeting and it's 3 hours, the one in Canada was for us. We stayed after and talked. It's just gotten to the point where
that tightened up your back.
Yeah, that's part of it. I just want to focus on golf, and I don't necessarily feel like we're always heard. And the truth is, I know it's been a really tough 2 years for everybody. So I'm not sitting here saying that what the tour's done is right or wrong. I know they're in a tough spot, but it's been frustrating for the players. And watching Brooks's press conference last week at the U.S. Open, where he just deflected all, "I'm here to play golf," I took that to heart, and I think I'm going to do that this week. I'm just going to try to just avoid that drama, and whatever happens, happens, and just go out and try and play good golf.
Are you able to avoid the drama, though, of the letter from Tom Watson? I mean, here you got a legend weighing in on that. What did you see it? Did you have a reaction?
No, yeah, I read it yesterday. I thought it was brilliant. He brought up a lot of really good points. You read that letter and a lot of those questions that he asked. It's like, well, shoot, why didn't we ask that in Canada? So he brought up a ton of good points. Hopefully they address that, and hopefully we just get a little bit more clarity. I think part of the issue is the last 3 years it's been, they change the schedule, they change the FedEx Cup points, they change, how many people get in the playoffs, they change. It's just, and I'm not saying that there's a way to avoid all that, but it's just been, it's been tough when the landscape changes all the time. Even look at Korn Ferry Tour. They go from 25 to 30 cards, no more Korn Ferry finals, Q School's different. It's been one of those things where, we as players, we want to focus on golf. Golf's hard enough and everybody's really good. So having to worry about all this other little stuff it's been a distraction and unfortunate. I think as players, we love the game of golf, and the PGA Tour, the Shield, that brand is just so special to us. We dream about playing on the PGA Tour as a kid, and I'd say all of us out here feel extremely grateful to be on the PGA Tour. So it's almost a little frustrating to see things change the way they have when we're so used to, the Tiger era and everything. So hopefully things get worked out, and there's a lot of unanswered questions. So hoping for the best, not just for me and for the other players, but for the game and kind of what makes golf so special, which is the PGA Tour and the great championships that we have.
All right, so Lanto Griffin is going to be joining us in the Fairways of Life show tomorrow. You'll hear from him, where he was saying that he tends to focus on his game, and yet now he is a member of the pack. So I'm curious about what his mindset is now in terms of the role that he can play, at least from the perspective of not being a voice that's on the sidelines. Now he's directly involved, and I'm sure hoping to frame the body of thought that will be coming out of the pack. And so we'll find out more from him about that. As to these signature events, the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, of course, coming up this week. The field has been released, although there is some wild speculation circulating this morning about a very, very big name that may or may not be in that field in just a few days from now. We'll keep you up to speed on what all that means. The Genesis Invitational follows. Then, of course, you see the Arnold Palmer Invitational, the Players Championship, the Masters, of course, the four majors, the RBC Heritage to follow, Wells Fargo Championship, the PGA Championship at Valhalla, the Memorial Tournament, Jack's Event, the U.S. Open at Pinehurst, the Travelers Championship, the Open at Royal Troon, and then the FedEx Cup playoff event. Those three events to finish. Now, there has been other circulating rumors. I mean, it was first reported on by golf.com that Anthony Kim maybe making his way back into professional golf. And I wondered if it was kind of, Morrison, Joplin, Hendricks, Cobain sort of way that he disappeared, where he left at the height of his youthfulness. And so he's left us with this image that he is, as a result, forever young. The difference being that Anthony Kim didn't leave this earth. He just walked away. Amid all the speculation as to what was really going on, he simply wasn't on the scene anymore. He was a guy that had, because of his personality, he had this flair. He reminded me of that high school kid who was bold enough and brash enough and brave enough to do all those things that we were all too timid to do. Impressed and glorified, I suppose, maybe not so much by what he possessed, but by what we didn't at that time. But Sweet 16 has turned 31. More accurately, he left at 26 years old. If he came back now, he would be 38 years old. And behind him, the body of work, albeit almost 12 years since, would represent 3 PGA Tour wins, 3 top 10 wins, and 8 bites at the apple in major championships, and a starring role, of course, in the 2008 Ryder Cup at Valhalla. So the question has to be asked, where did you go? Why did you go? Did Anthony Kim spend the last 12 years searching for the elusive in the Golden City? Or was and is all of this simply about the gold? Who are we to judge? More of the Fairways of Life show coming up right after this.
Relax. Easy now. Find your happy place. The PGA Tour Superstore. It's all in the hips, where every swing is possible. Just tap it in. Yes!
Find all the latest gear, apparel, and personalized club fittings.
Is this goodbye?
We've only just begun.
Shop with the pros at Golf's Happy Place, the PGA Tour Superstore.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
It screams. It tracks. It's soft. It reacts. It is the Bridgestone Tour B with a game-changing reactive cover designed to spring faster off your driver and stick longer to your wedges. Try Bridgestone's Tour Bs, the Tour Ball reinvented.
The Gen 6 iron is a culmination of everything that we have learned as a team, the absolute best golf club I have ever hit. It's something special. Say hello to the new PXG Gen 6 iron. The longest, most accurate irons we've ever made. They go higher and farther than any iron that I have hit to date, and they're so easy to hit. Super excited for the consumer to try this. They're gonna love them.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm gonna go after the PGA Tour.
Bo, you're gonna need the right equipment company.
I think I got that.
You know Tour Edge backs all their clubs with a lifetime warranty.
I know.
They ship all their premium custom clubs in 48 hours.
I know.
All their premium clubs are hand-built in the USA.
I know.
You know Tour Edge has won 35 times out here.
Guys, I know.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Boyne Golf provides the ultimate world-class golf destination with 10 championship-caliber courses spanning 3 resorts. Centered in Michigan's northern Lower Peninsula, the courses are the products of some of the game's masters, including Robert Trent Jones Sr., Arthur Hills, and Donald Ross. From the all-inclusive vacation packages, elite instruction with the Boyne Golf Academy, tournaments, and so much more, Boyne Golf truly offers an unrivaled Michigan golf vacation experience. Just log on to BoyneGolf.com. Fairways Life Show. Pleasure to have your company. So here we were just talking about Anthony Kim. And Dom, you said your question of the day was about Anthony Kim. Tell the world again, remind us, what was the question of the day and what's the responses that you're getting so far?
Question of the day was, should Anthony Kim return to golf? Pretty straightforward, right?
Yep.
Yes, no, and I put a don't care category. Because I just put that in there but I didn't anticipate people wouldn't care. I thought they would care. And they don't care. 32% now just are like, why are you asking me this? I don't care about this. 60% say yes, only 8% that no currently. So people are, they either don't care or they think he's coming back, which is interesting. Mike writes, if Anthony Kim is or isn't coming, we should know by now. Everything just drags on far too long, which is one way to look at it. And then there's a lot of people commenting that they miss his, I'm trying to think of the right word, the panache that he had.
Flair,
there's a magnetism. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. He has that, whatever that it is that we're always discussing. I mean, what is the it? Sort of felt like he had that.
I mean, how many times when you hear people criticize modern golfers, the whole thing like 15, 20 years ago, they talked about him having robotic golf swings. Well, that was coming off an era where everybody had their very distinctive golf swing, right? When you think about the Arnold Palmers, the Gary Players, the Jack Nicklaus, all of them, you go through, you name them, Ray Floyd, I could keep going, to where you got to an era where coaching started to become dominant and swings started to have a lot more similarity. I'm not just talking about through the hitting zone. I'm just talking about general similarities in the golf swings. Anthony Kim was never that. Anthony Kim, it wasn't that his golf swing was something completely unique. It was his personality that was so unique. It was, people call it confidence, call it cockiness, call it whatever you want. But Anthony Kim stood out. He was somebody that you wanted to see play. I would guess that for most people, for me it was, that he was somebody that you also wanted to see play well. I do think back to that 2008 Ryder Cup at Valhalla and the way that he stood out and the way that Paul Azinger, in retrospect, told us all stories about every time he'd come up to Anthony Kim and say, hey, we really need you here. And he said, we got you covered, coach. We've got you covered. That was his attitude. So the thing I'm questioning now, where you are 32%, and if you guys want to weigh in on Dom's question of the day, just log on to the Fairways Life YouTube channel and you can vote there, or you can also be a part of the live discussion board, which I'm going to ask you about in a second. Dom, I'm wondering if 32%, is it a possibility that over the course of the last 12 years, could it be that some percentage or the majority of the percentage of that 32% are people that never really knew Anthony Kim, that they never really followed him? And it's hard to vote on something saying, and you said, should he come back, right, Tom, versus do you want him to come back? You made that distinction.
Correct. I made that distinction on purpose.
And why do you think that that's an important distinction to have made?
Because I wonder if it's forced. I feel like the environment that golf is now, there's almost like this forced, sometimes it feels like storylines are forced, and I don't love that. And so I think the question should be should. I mean, we've got Paul writing in, he's saying that it would be a gimmick and it would be a risk, similar to what I'm talking about. Are we talking about gimmicks now? Is this like a Super Bowl halftime show that we're doing here? I mean, Reg writes, lawyers and insurance companies have already decided where and when Anthony Kim will play again.
I don't know about
that. Again, but I'm saying I think that's sort of the mindset right now for some reason. So yeah, but I think it's interesting. I mean, that number's going up. 33% don't care. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about this. Nobody cares about this.
Well, I am curious about one thing, though. And we used to do this all the time when we were just on the radio side, and we'd ask the question of, when it was a major championship or a big event, we'd say, who do you think's going to win? Then we would ask the second question of, who do you want to win? Wondering if they are the same person. So should Anthony Kim come back to the game of golf versus do you want him to come back to the game of golf? I think is an interesting conversation, and I'm glad that people are weighing in on it. Anything else that people are touching base on today, Dom?
Well, there's a lot of people going back and forth about some of the news you mentioned earlier. There's a lot of speculation going on right now. Unsurprisingly, Jon Rahm, who has announced that he is joining Live, his team will be playing this week in Mayakoba, but they haven't announced his teammates or nothing's official come out. So, of course, there's a ton of speculation around who's going to be where and when and things of that nature. So there's a lot of people essentially just speculating all over the place. But nothing is official, so I don't want to comment on any of it. Nothing has been confirmed by anybody anywhere.
I wonder if that approach by Liv has been to build up anticipation. I mean, here we are talking about it, or if it was because they don't have things settled yet or they're not ready to announce it yet contractually or otherwise. So see how that plays itself out. Jon Rahm is due to speak, so we'll get a chance from here to hear from Jon Rahm as well, because when he signed, if you recall, he said following, I'm only paraphrasing, that he said, no, I can't speak. And it was unclear if that was some official edict or if that was self-imposed, where he wasn't going to speak to the media, but he will be, and we will hear from Jon Rahm coming up this week. I mentioned to you, Lanto Griffin's going to be joining us on the show tomorrow, and I'm really curious to get a chance to speak to him to find out. You know, he's cast himself in this role as kind of a everyman golfer, right, on the PGA Tour. Grayson Murray has done the same thing. And now Grayson Murray is a very different person than he was, at least who we thought we knew, only a few months ago, since he's really got his life under control now, having just recently won on the PGA Tour as well. It's some inspiring stories. There's a lot of really cool stories going on. I'm sure you guys saw Nicholas Højgaard finished second. His brother at another desert on the other side of the world finished second, and Rasmus, the two twin brothers. I'm waiting for the day when we're broadcasting a Ryder Cup, and I'm on the ground for the World Radio feed doing the play-by-play. And I'm thinking to myself, you're going to have two identical twin brothers dressed the exact same. Better keep a very close eye on which caddy they're standing next to so you can identify them from 150 or perhaps 200 yards away. So, yeah, I'm curious how it plays itself out with Anthony Kim. And if, as I mentioned to you in the last segment, is this about an Anthony Kim who is found the fire to play professionally again, the commitment to play professionally again, the resources to overcome any obstacles that may have been a financial impediment to him coming back previously if he so desired? Is that the world that we're in right now, that those kind of resources are out there? What does that mean in terms of where he's going to play, what league that he would align himself with? All of that remains in the balance. Dom, I'll come to you one more time just to find out what the people are thinking on this Monday.
I mean, it's still 33% don't care. I have to be honest, Matt. I don't want to belabor this point, but I thought people would care. And they, and they don't care.
I wasn't only talking about Anthony Kim. What are you hearing from
the... It's been a rough day, though. I mean, the Lions lose. I come on. I got a question. I'm all excited about the question. Everybody's like, I don't care about this question. This is a stupid question. Why are you asking this question?
What about your discussion board? What are you hearing coming in there?
There's a lot of people continuing to say that they don't care about Anthony Kim. But why are we talking about Anthony Kim? David says. Why don't we move on and talk about something else? Mike says. Anthony Kim, question mark? Although, to your point earlier, you mentioned this earlier, there actually was a couple people on the discussion board who had never seen him play. And you had mentioned that earlier. People who were, because it has been so long, right? The gap is so big that people are like, who is Anthony Kim? Like, what did he do? Like, they'd never heard of him. So that might have something to do with that divide, Matt.
Yeah, and I wonder if he came back, if just, the passage of time, perhaps a touch of gray changes things in terms of how and who he is and how he conducted himself. I mean, the stealth way that he's existed for the nearly 12 years since we last saw him is absolutely remarkable. Now, you heard Lanto Griffin and the sound that we played with him mention Tom Watson because he was referring to a specific letter that Tom Watson wrote at that time. We had a chance last week at the PGA show to speak with Tom Watson, and the legend spoke to giving back through his mentorship program through the foundation. This is courtesy of Golf Channel.
Well, Matt, when I became a professional, I saw something happen. I saw that the carts were taking over the caddy programs. And these kids didn't have a chance to go out and be on a golf course and learn. Maybe they loved the game or not. Maybe they're just trying to make a buck. But a lot of the caddies did, and they learned how to play golf. And that just, those caddy programs just dwindled, and I said, got to do something about it. So I started a program called Clubs for Kids. It was a one-day event. It really didn't help much. But I always wanted to try to inspire kids to play golf. When the First Tee program came along, actually prior to that, we had a program like the First Tee in Kansas City that we had kids go to the practice range and they could play 3 holes. And then the First Tee came along. I was an initial great supporter of the First Tee. Now you have Youth on Course, you have PGA Junior League, you have all these programs that really try to inspire kids to not only play golf, but play golf for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And I have 3 foundations. All 3 foundations, the mission statement says this. This foundation is created to create lifetime golfers. And that's what I want to do.
You can't think about Tom Watson without thinking about this right here. Site of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Beautiful Pebble Beach. Notable players currently in the field: Scheffler, Hovland, Cantlay, Fitzpatrick, Tom Kim, first time, Aubert as well, McIlroy, Homa, Clark, Fowler, Spieth, Thomas. I mean, I think about it as Tom Watson, 1982, at that U.S. Open, he chips in from behind 17 to win that U.S. Open at Pebble. So incredible. So special. We'll be back with you guys again tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Time for the Fairways of Life show. And looking forward to engaging your thoughts and continuing our conversation. Really appreciate your company today, folks. Hope you guys have a great Monday. And until we are together again, goodbye for now.
Relax. Easy now. Find your happy place. The PGA Tour Superstore. It's all in the hips, where every swing is possible. Just tap it in. Yes!
Find all the latest gear, apparel, and personalized club fittings.
Is this goodbye?
We've only just begun.
Shop with the pros at Golf's Happy Place, the PGA Tour Superstore.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous Parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
It screams. It tracks. It's soft. It reacts. It is the Bridgestone Tour B with a game-changing reactive cover designed to spring faster off your driver and stick longer to your wedges. Try Bridgestone's Tour Bs, the Tour Ball reinvented.
The Gen 6 iron is a culmination of everything that we have learned as a team, the absolute best golf club I've ever hit. It's something special. Say hello to the new PXG Gen 6 iron. The longest, most accurate irons we've ever made. They go higher and farther than any iron that I have hit to date, and they're so easy to hit. Super excited for the consumer to try this. They're gonna love them.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm gonna go after the PGA Tour.
Bo, you're gonna need the right equipment company.
I think I got that.
You know, Tour Edge backs all their clubs with a lifetime warranty.
I know.
They ship all their premium custom clubs in 48 hours.
I know.
All their premium clubs are hand-built in the USA.
I know.
You know, Tour Edge has won 35 times out here.
Guys, I know.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Boyne Golf provides the ultimate world-class golf destination with 10 championship-caliber courses spanning 3 resorts. Centered in Michigan's northern Lower Peninsula, the courses are the products of some of the game's masters, including Robert Trent Jones Sr., Arthur Hills, and Donald Ross. From the all-inclusive vacation packages, elite instruction with the Boyne Golf Academy, tournaments, and so much more, Boyne Golf truly offers an unrivaled Michigan golf vacation experience. Just log on to BoyneGolf.com. Zero Friction introduces the Wheel Pro Push Cart Golf Bag with its revolutionary 3-in-1 design, supportive legs that spring into action, a comfort grip handle with 3 locking positions, accessories for the modern golfer enhanced by 7 pockets for more storage, and removable all-terrain wheels which slide right into place. The new Zero Friction Wheel Pro Golf Bag checks every box for every golfer. Push, carry, or cart, the decision is yours thanks to Zero Friction. Head to ZeroFriction.com today.